For those of you who don't know me, I'm Maddie, and welcome to the Sacred Space Revolution. This is my partner, an awesome, badass, creative, bomb-malicious babe extraordinaire, Audrey, who's going to be joining me for a really special chat today. We're going to be doing on just an introduction of how we can use nutrition to heighten our intuition. There's a quick 30-second background on me. A few years ago, was living a life, I would say, where I was playing very, very small, felt very anxious, depressed, down, just basically blah was like my norm state. And through, miracles, divine intervention, I started kind of having certain awakenings in my life. And I started feeling called to kind of make big changes and small changes. And through this kind of journey of self-exploration, I started picking up all of these tools and techniques and some time-honored ancient traditions, and learning how to incorporate them into my very modern, very busy, fast-paced, hectic life. And thus began the Sacred Space Revolution. And now I'm beyond stoked to share them with you, so hopefully you can experience these big, beautiful changes, because now I'm living this life that, while it's not perfect, it's amazing and mind-blowing and miraculous and magnificent and colorful and creative every day. I'm sitting here next to this beautiful woman talking to you fine folks, so how much better can we get? So, Audrey, nutrition for intuition. What is the deal? We're going to be getting into just a very simple, high-level overview of just some basic tips here. This is, not going to be a talk about millions of supplements, herbs, smoothies, shakes, powders that you need to go out and buy. This is not even really a talk at all about losing weight or creating some perfect body image. This is about how you can feed and fuel your beautiful body so you can heighten your connection to your intuition, your inner guidance, your highest self, and raise your vibration.
What do you mean exactly by raising your vibration? Or how does that make a difference?
Okay, so I'm sure we all hear people all the time, good vibes, high vibe, low vibe, vibes. We hear that. So it's really a great question to ask, what does this even mean to raise your vibration? My quick little science meets spirituality, the best that I can describe it, is that in quantum physics, they say we're all made of molecules that are vibrating, and everything, whether it's me, you, this table, this phone, whatever, everything is made of the same thing. We're just vibrating at different frequencies. Hi, Alicia. You come in. It's fine. More babes. Babe cave for life here. And the frequency at which we're vibrating affects our mood. It affects the things that are happening around us. It affects what we can call in and attract in our lives. And it's like we're a spinning fan or something. And when we're spinning slowly, we feel that bogged down feeling. Those low vibration emotions are fear, anger, laziness, grogginess. You're vibrating high. You feel clear and connected and in your flow, and that feeling of when you walk outside on a spring day and you're happy for no real reason you put your finger on. That's you are vibing really high.
I want to feel that all the time.
Well, that's awesome, because that's what this whole revolution is about. It's about raising your vibration, which is super important too for I think we all have things that we want to call in our lives, all things that we want to manifest, things we want to attract. And the higher your vibration, the easier you can attract those things. And also what's cool is this is all about connecting with your higher self. And your higher self, she vibrates high. So we want to get on her level so we can figure out what are the messages that are waiting for us, the things that we know we have to do or that we want to do, that kind of, that big intuitive voice that we have in our belly that tells us to dream those big, big dreams, or go after that like scary thing, or to go on that trip, or to make like leave that job, or whatever it is, or talk to that person across the room, the more we fuel our body, raise our vibration, and feed that, the louder that voice becomes, and the more we instantly trust it versus like doubting it and then looking the other way and maybe choosing that like fear or playing small versus choosing faith and living big. So, just checking my notes here. So I guess like talking about vibration, talking about how I feel, wrapping our mind around this concept. Do you notice like there's certain foods where you feel like better after you eat them? Or like, just like, do you ever feel, not just in your body, but in your mood, do you ever notice a difference of how you feel after you eat?
Definitely. Okay. Definitely. Yeah.
So what are some, like just, are there some foods where you feel?
Well, sometimes if I eat something that makes me, it doesn't feel like it's actually nutritious and it's kind of like weighing me down, I notice that I'm much more irritable towards people, where I'm just like, I feel uncomfortable. So I'm like, you just like answer in a reactive way.
I'm sure you guys resonate with that. I'm sure you do. I mean, we all know that feeling of just like all of a sudden like a dark cloud kind of comes over us, or edge irritability. And I know for myself, certain things I eat, like I will instantly feel that way. And, you know, before we start, I definitely want to say that these are like broad tips, and I'm going to give them to you, and I want you to incorporate them in your life as you see fit. This is not like a checklist of things you have to do to like be perfect, or if you can't get all of them done right away. This is just being aware, and then looking at your body like an experiment, like, and listening to her and figuring out like what makes you feel good. Like something that might feel good for other people, you might not feel good after. Like, you know, after sometimes like I can't eat, let's say, gluten, but once in a while, like I don't have a gluten allergy, I just don't like the way it makes me feel after. But once in a while, when I'm with like my boyfriend and I just want to like dig into a big thing of like really good Italian semolina bread, like dipped in so much olive oil and salt, and I will actually feel good after that because that's what my body is craving, that's cool. This is not about like strict guidelines or self-imposed like restrictions or judgment if you like don't do this 100% of the time. But when I know I want to raise my vibration really high, like I'm having a day, I want to manifest, I want to be like my most angelic, badass babe self, like version of me. I have a big meeting, I have a big thing I want to write, a big presentation, then I know I can instantly go to these tools. So that being said, first one is probably not going to be like a shocker to anyone, but I have to say it because it's so important. Okay, everyone? So it's just drink water. Like the number one key to magic, I swear to God, is just staying hydrated. Like hydration, hydration, hydration. We cannot underestimate. We all know our bodies are 75% water. The earth, the same Mama Earth, same percentage of water. Water is really important for flushing toxins out of our system. Water keeps us buoyant, it keeps us full, it keeps us clear, it keeps us like water. The molecular structure of water like helps our intuitive connection between our belly and our mind. It makes that connection clear. Like you don't feel as like foggy headed. It's just keeping our system operating in a way that's ideal and energizing to you. And it's so simple, and it's either basically free or very close to free. So that's why I love to lead with that, because there's all of these things out there, you know, complex structures of eating and doing this and waking up and having this and this. Honestly, just water is a great place to start. So, well, do you have any questions?
Yeah, actually, I do. Because everyone says that New York City water, we live in New York City, by the way. So everyone says that it's like the best. But does it matter? Like, is it true? What do you think about it?
Okay. So, well, I'm not actually like a New York City water expert by any means, but I know the source it used to come from, which used to come from the Hudson Valley. I'm not sure if it does anymore, but that was really like beautifully charged water. I think most tap water that you find nowadays, just because of the state of our earth and our things being very overpopulated and et cetera, a lot of tap water probably is going to have certain heavy metals or additives in it that might not make you feel good. So if you're at home, honestly, one of the best investments is a very simple like water filter. And I think like for me, my general rules are, you know, water is just good to drink. You just want to drink water. But I try and keep a water filter in my fridge. And then I try and just be aware of what I'm storing my water in. Like, if possible, I try not to use plastic bottles, you know, for the earth, but obviously like a lot of plastic, especially in the water bottles, because they're that very, very thin plastic. The thicker the plastic, the better. The thinner means it's leaching more chemicals, especially because water bottles are shipped from some factory to a warehouse, and then they could sit in trucks that are hot for days, or warehouses, or in the back storage rooms of, you know, grocery stores, delis, markets. And the longer they sit in that, the more they're leaching out plastic, the toxins in plastic. So I have one of those like stainless steel. It's like a knockoff of a Swell bottle. I got it for like $12 on Amazon, and it's like a pretty lime green color. And I put all like, you know, high vibe, funny bumper stickers all over it. So I actually like am happy to drink water and carry this thing around with me all day. So
such a hippie.
Yeah. So it's like always like finding the water that will, finding ways to make it easy to drink water. I carry it around with me. Obviously like putting lemon in water, putting mint in it makes it really yummy. And if I ever am skeptical about water, I do sometimes just do a little like cleansing ritual. There's the Japanese water experiment where they had the students like talk to water and say like words of hate in one water and then words of love in the other water. And the water that the words of hate were on, like when they would use it to water a plant or like make rice with it, the rice would come out moldy or the plant would be dying. And the words of love, like everything flourished under that. So water really absorbs energy. So even if you're not sure, like, is this water filtered? Is this, what's going on with this water? A nice ritual that I like to do is just saying like, I love you, water, thank you. Or I know some people who like on their water bottles tape like happy words on them, like love and abundance and whatever words make you feel good. So like that's my little spiel on water. So water, it's very important. So number 2, for our connection to our intuition, for raising our vibration, really, really important are just raw fruits and veggies. If you know, there's been experiments where they look at like the energy of a raw like berry, let's say, and there's like literally like vibrations coming off of it because it's just such an alive, like bursting with enzymes and phytonutrients and just you know, we are a living creatures, so when we eat living things, like it's really powerful for us and our connection. And it's cool because nature is like perfect and divine, and there's literally just fruits and vegetables that correlate specifically to areas and energy systems in our body that help it thrive and nourish them.
It's so easy to forget when you're eating food. You forget how amazing it is. Comes from a seed.
It comes from a seed and it bursts forth with life, and it's carrying all of these beautiful, healing, functional, transformative ingredients. And again, like a lot of this talk is just about being mindful of bringing our body. Like sometimes I even forget, and I'm like, oh yeah, why don't I just go pick up some berries and eat them? You know, instead of just chomping on whatever it's around, granola, like whatever, for example. So, do you have any questions about like fruits and veggies?
I mean, do you have, are there any kind of examples of things that are really powerful?
Yeah, you want to get right to the point. What are
like, well, just tell me what to eat.
Just tell me what to eat. Fruits and veggies, it's a very overwhelming part of the grocery store. There's just so many things happening there. Okay, so if I had to recommend like a little cheat sheet within that, pineapples. Pineapples are amazing. They're filled with a really important enzyme that I can never really pronounce, bromelain. And the cool thing about pineapples is they're really important for, like I said, like your solar plexus, like your belly. They say that's like your core, your center, and that's like where you want to emanate sunshine from. And pineapples think about how they grow. They just soak up sunshine for months and months and months and months. So those things are literally like eating like solid sunshine right into your belly. That's my like kind of description of it, but it actually really does activate things in your belly, in your power source, and help just like cleanse that area and keep it nourished. So pineapples, leafy greens they're very alkalizing. They help decalcify your pineal gland, which is another way of saying like your pituitary gland or your third eye. And that helps like cleanse it, activate it, decalcify it. And that's just the source of like seeing things that we cannot see, like just that thing of when you just know, like you walk into a room and you're like, something feels off here, or something's telling me I should call that person today. And all those things you can't really explain, but you know, have like a truth to them. And then another one, blueberries. Blueberries are amazing, they say, for like speaking your truth. There's an element, a phytonutrient in a blueberry that helps like heal and strengthen your vocal cords and your throat. So
I need that.
And so for those three things, it's like your belly, your third eye, your throat. So think about like this connection and you're strengthening it. So you know in your gut what's right. You're seeing things that can't be seen, and then you know how to like speak on it. So I think that's like a great cheat sheet. And those are all like delicious things. Throw them on a smoothie, eat them. They're beautiful. And they're all very Instagrammable too. If you're like, want to make a little spread of a pineapple and some blueberries. Okay, I mean, I know. We live in 2018. Like if something's not beautiful, then we're just like not gonna even mess with it. Okay, cool. So all of that, probably like one of my last big nutrition tips is something that I've had an amazing experience with over the past year is probiotics. And that's something that I like ignored the probiotic train for so long. Like everyone's like probiotics. And I don't know why. I had like a block around it. I think because I associated it with either a pill or yogurt. And I don't really love taking supplements, and I don't love yogurt. But I kept getting the message to like take probiotics. And so I found a few like living food sources that are like chock full of them. And it has changed everything. It has changed my energy level, the clarity in which I get messages in my meditation, in my writing, my creativity has been like a fire since then. And it's really helped with like, I think sometimes like, I don't know how to describe it in Chinese medicine. I think they call it like a dampness. Like sometimes I would just feel like kind of like a fog over my brain, and it kind of felt like a depression, but not really, just like a down feeling. And probiotics actually help with that. And it was a great, I didn't even really know I was feeling it until I wasn't feeling it anymore. And so probiotics, again, they're strengthening your gut. So you're thinking about like when people say trust your gut, that's a really, really actual like expression. Like your gut has its own brain, they say. So keeping it cleansed, keeping it filled with all these like healthy bacteria is really, really important for heightening your connection to your intuition and just staying like clear, energized, and that like buoyant feeling that we feel when our vibration is raised.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, what are, just because like I don't really eat yogurt, like what are your thoughts on meat and dairy?
Okay. So meat and dairy. I am definitely not someone who tells someone to be like vegetarian or vegan, but dairy definitely, like cow milk especially, definitely lowers your vibration. It's like
I feel like I always knew
like
that,
you kind of,
but I don't know why.
Yeah, like it. I'm gonna gross everyone out right now, but it's basically another animal's mucus. So it's like, think about like that. Like
if you were ever craving it, just think about that.
To anyone at home right now who's like having like a glass of milk or a milkshake or cereal or something, but that's what it is. And we're not really like designed to ingest. There's another animal's milk, and also nowadays a lot of milk too is injected with hormones and all of these icky things and extra sugar and just things that, like, you think about milk, you don't really feel like it's something that feels really like alive and it's making you like raise higher. And probably after you eat like a big bowl of ice cream or have something, a big latte, lots of milk, you might just feel like lethargic after. And then meat, meat's kind of on the same wavelength. Like the biggest thing I have with meat is that every food you have, you're absorbing the energy of how it was created. So those pineapples, they were soaked in sunshine. That's great. And that's why they say like making food with love, like it actually makes a difference. Like when you're treating food like tenderly and beautifully and preparing it with love, like you're absorbing that. And so with animal meat, a lot of obviously like industrial meat farming now is like a lot of these animals are living lives in like captivity and they're being tortured and yucky, their offspring are being ripped away from them. And it's like they're releasing like stress hormones and they're releasing pain and trauma. And then we're like eating that. So, I mean, they say in Japan, there's like certain fish that they will only capture just by like a net. They won't use like not a net, they'll use a spear that cuts through. So that way, like, the fish never experiences pain, because the second it releases pain, it's like the muscles start to tighten and stiffen, and it's like not good meat anymore. So just try to be mindful of like, if you do need meat, again, everyone is different. Some people's bodies like need meat. Just trying to be as like mindful and responsible and as thoughtful as you can with where you find it from. So yeah, that's meat and dairy. And the thing I will just say is that sometimes meat is good because people want to be grounded. So that's the last thing I'll say about nutrition is sometimes you're doing all the spiritual work or your like vibe is so high, you almost feel like you can't come down. Like you just meditated and you're like off in another realm, or you just had a great presentation or workout or workshop with someone, and you're like, oh my God, but you can't even like think straight. Like you're like losing your wallet and you're like vibing and you're just like, and you're like, actually, like I have to come back into my body. I need something grounding. There's a lot of ways to do that, but one of my like favorite, quickest ways you can carry around with you is I just have a bottle of like MCT oil, which is like a fractionated coconut oil, and I'll just put it like literally just drink it alone on a spoon or put it in like my drink I'm drinking. And the coconut oil and that healthy fat, it like brings you back into your body, and it helps like your mind from like spinning off, and it helps you just from feeling that like, okay, I'm here now, I'm in my body, I'm calm, I'm connected. So that is what I would say. So we have drinking water, fruits and veggies, probiotics, so the probs, not meat and dairy, unless you want to experiment on your own, but definitely the dairy. I mean, we all want, also it's balanced. You want to have a little cheese here or there at your party, that's kind of fun, but maybe you switch out your morning lattes for almond milk or coconut milk. I think you probably notice a difference in that. And then MCT oil for when you've done all of this and maybe your vibration is so raised that you might need to actually like healthily ground into your body. That's something that is huge for me. So just remembering that all food contains energy. You're putting stuff in your body, just thinking about where it comes from, looking at food, like if some food is just dead or it's processed, or you look at it and you're like, actually, I don't want to feel like that cellophane wrapped weird bagel that's been sitting here forever. Like that's not how I want to feel. So looking at food and thinking like, is that how I want to feel? Is a great question to ask yourself. And balance, again, not being tough on yourself, no judgment, just experiencing this. And what's beautiful about nutrition for intuition is it's a virtuous cycle in that the more you eat for your intuition, the stronger your intuition becomes, and the faster you'll know right away. Like, is that good for me? Is that not? Does that serve me? Does it not? And the decision, it becomes faster. You don't have to worry about like, oh, like checking a book or something. You're just like, nope, I don't need that right now. Or today I am craving that. And it's a really, really fun way to create a really individual, beautiful, special relationship with your body.
Wow, thank you for sharing all of that. I can't wait to kind of try all of these things and see if I can feel a difference. Now that I'll probably be more aware. Because, you know, some of the stuff you hear, like about dairy and not eating meat, and like I really want to try the water thing and just kind of experiment and have fun. Play with it.
Just having fun with it. Like, that's really what it's all about. And I love that. I love that you said that. Yeah, so I hope everyone like understood that. If there's anything you don't, you could reply in the comments. We have a Facebook group, the Sacred Space Tribe, and we'll maybe put a link to that below the video. And that's just a community where we can interact and connect and like share tips and techniques and our stories for these kind of tools of the Sacred Space Revolution. Definitely, if you like this video, like it. If you want to subscribe to our channel, if you want to send this around to some people who think would be interested and would benefit from it, we would love that. And again, I'm Maddie. Thank you so much for joining.
And Audrey, thank you guys so much for supporting us. And we had our first event last night. It was amazing. So if you're not subscribed, you guys really should subscribe to our emails. Go to sacredspacerevolution.com and subscribe so that you can go to the next one. You can be there.
It was amazing. The magic. You guys have to come next time. But all right. Thank you.
Bye,
guys.